I'm Matt Eland. I'm an instructor at Tech Elevator, and I want to talk to you about technology conferences or programming conferences. Programming conferences occur in a variety of places, at various scales, and even in person and online. And I just want to give you some ideas of why you might want to attend them, the things you can expect to get out of them, as well as maybe some 5 tips of getting the most out of a technology conference. So when I'm attending a conference, in whether it's a local conference or a regional conference or something like that, or something online, there are a variety of things that I'm expecting to get out of it. As an attendee, I'm looking to discover new things that I didn't know existed. These are things that I didn't even know I should be searching for. I can't tell you the number of times that I've attended a session and I've heard the speaker mention a topic or a library that I didn't even know was present. So by going to a talk, I'll discover these things and I can just go out and do some more learning on my own, maybe add them to a side project, start playing with them, get more familiar with them, and maybe incorporate it into what I'm doing on my day job. So really learning of things to dig into a little bit deeper that might be more relevant to me and my team is a huge benefit of going to a technology conference. Additionally, you'll find sessions out there that will help you really get started on a technology. Let's say that you wanted to learn machine learning or how to work with Blazor in .NET or some topic that you're really interested in. Well, you can find a session out there that's more of an in-depth session on that, where the speaker is going to be showing you a live demo. They'll usually create a new project and get things configured. And well, you're probably not going to be following along with them while they do that, unless it's a workshop type of a session. These sessions are going to really help your comfort level and saying, oh, okay, well, these are all the pieces of it. This is how I start out. This is what I do. This is what the user interface looks like. And it's going to give you a little bit more comfort for when it comes time to doing that on your own. So that's a great way of spending your time at a conference is seeing how to get started with something in more of an in-depth level. You'll also be able to ask questions of the speaker afterwards, even if it's not exactly related to your session or to their topic. You can say hey, I was trying to get started with this, but I was having this error. I tried Googling this, but I couldn't really find what I was looking for. And they might say, well, you need to install this preview version of this thing, and that'll let you have these options or whatever it might be. And this kind of segue into another area that's helpful. So when you go to a conference, you have the opportunity to make connections with people. You whether it's the speaker or other people in attendance that you happen to be talking to and just sort of having a side conversation before things start or afterwards, you have the ability to just connect with other people and exchange information and really start to share the journey and get their takeaways from things. Because if you're coming in with your experience with your team and you're meeting somebody else from another company or another region of the world and they have experience with the same technology, they may have an entirely different perspective that's very useful for you. They may have solved problems that you're currently looking at, or they may have different solutions to the ones that you've tried before. So making connections is really, really helpful. I think that there's some huge benefits in tech conferences beyond just things that you learn, though. I can't tell you the number of times that I've gone to a conference or people that I've worked with have gone to a conference and they'll come out of it just re-energized. Their passion for tech is stronger. They have ideas for side projects they want to try. And it's just a really invigorating thing for them, and it helps them take that energy, recharge a little bit, get deeper into the things that they're interested in, and apply those eventually to their day job. So I think that there's a lot of value in a tech conference for all attendees. Finally, I think that this is one that we often forget, but conferences should be fun. There's a fun aspect to this, whether it's a board game night the night before a conference, or whether it's just enjoying a lunch with some other attendees or near some other attendees and just talking, hanging out with people. Having other people around to tell programmer jokes is actually quite fun as well. Many conferences will have special events as well. There's a local conference in Columbus that I go to every year I can, called Star Trek, where we actually have a movie after the after the sessions at the very end. We have it in a movie theater and watch usually a Marvel movie. But the conference I was speaking at last week, they actually had a Starship Bridge simulator, and so I got to play an engineer and a science officer and the like, and just really nerd out. And I think there's something recharging about that. So while you're learning, it's important to also relax and let your brain process these things in what we call the diffuse mode, where it's really looking at the big picture. And that can really help you cement those connections that you made, cement the knowledge that you gained, but also just get you ready to go back out there and and go code it with what you're doing in your day job. So those are some of the key benefits I see from attending a tech conference. Now, I mentioned in passing a second ago that I speak at tech conferences. I speak in my local and regional conferences, and there's a lot of benefits to me and my organization by me doing that. And I don't think that you have to be an experienced person to be able to do that. There's a lot of value of saying, hey, I tried X, here's what I found trying to learn this. Or I'm just beginning my journey, here's what's hard for me, here's what we can make easier for new developers. Don't be afraid of submitting to conferences, because they'll help you pay for travel, they will pay for hotel, they will pay for your admission to the conference, and you basically get to hang out and have a lot of fun and give a talk, or potentially more if you submitted multiple sessions. If you are attending, I have some 5 key takeaways for you just to really get the most out of your experience. So my number one tip would be this: actually read the descriptions of each session you're going to attend. So usually you'll get a list of titles of sessions and the rooms that they might be in, as well as a few paragraphs for each session talking about what the session is going to be on. So look at those in depth and try to figure out, what am I going to get from this session, and compare it with what you might get from this other session. So don't make assumptions about what's going to be present, because that's usually the way that people are disappointed. They'll go into a session expecting that it will cover X, and it doesn't really cover it, or only touches on it briefly. This is related to that. Don't be afraid to walk out of a session. It's very, very normal for people to go in thinking they're going to get a certain thing, and they'll find out that it's not really that tone, or they're not learning very well, and they're really wishing that they could have gone to another session instead. Get up and leave. It's okay. I'm a speaker. I can tell you that I don't mind when a few people are getting up and leaving. That's okay. They need to get the most out of their conference. I've left sessions myself, and I understand all these things. So don't worry about it. You're paying for this conference. You're paying with your time. Just go to the thing that's most interesting to you. Take notes, but don't take a lot of notes, is my advice. I am usually very strategic about my note taking. I will go in and I will write some key takeaways from that session. I'll write the name of the speaker. I will write a few different things to follow up on later, but I don't write everything that the speaker says. Usually the session slides are available online, or they can be if you request them for the speaker, and they'll help you out there. Connect with each speaker. Follow them on Twitter. Connect with them on LinkedIn, even if they don't mention that you should connect with them on LinkedIn. Connect with them on LinkedIn. These are usually experts or people who are rising in their area, and you can connect with them and get additional insights throughout the year just by seeing their posts. Additionally, they can help you network into a new job, or help you be aware of opportunities you might not have seen before. And finally, after the conference, take a day or two to rest, and then reflect on what you learned. Write it out to an email to your boss or your team, or a Slack post or something like that. But take some time to reflect on what you enjoyed the most, and specifically what 1 or 2 things you might want to try applying going forward. So you're not going to try everything that you encountered, but you might have a few key areas that you're going to try going forward. And these are my recommendations for getting the most out of conferences. I'm always happy to chat if you're interested in speaking or attending. Very happy to help you out. Just email me at matt.eland@techelevator.com. And happy conferencing.